If I'm going to rule in Westeros, I'll need to make alliances. The best way to make alliances is with marriage.
Who are you marrying this time?
I don't know. Maybe no one.
But you need to lure the noble houses to the table? Are you a queen or fish bait?
What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to Talking Thrones. Today's video will be a little bit different than usual. This will not necessarily be a prediction or theory video, but more or less a discussion video. There is something that I want to talk to you about because I want to see what all of you have to say about this. I love hearing from all of you and I respect everyone's opinion even if they disagree with me sometimes, so feel free to leave your thoughts down below after this video. I have made a few other videos about potential marriages in the near future, but in this one I want to go straight to the top and talk about the possibility of Daenerys Targaryen getting married. As you can see from the clip I showed at the beginning of this video, Daenerys Targaryen will be in Westeros very soon, and she has already accepted the fact that she may have to get married once again. She told Daario that if she was going to rule Westeros, then she's going to have to make alliances, and we all know that the best way to make an alliance is through marriage. And personally, I used to think Daenerys wouldn't need to get married ever again because she does have a massive force right now and she has 3 dragons that are going to be damn near the size of airplanes. But after seeing tons of photos, promos, and trailers, it appears that Daenerys will lose a significant amount of her forces this season. Daenerys will be in an all-out war during most of the season. She's going to lose men at sea, she's going to lose men at Casterly Rock, and she's going to lose men during the Field of Fire. Now, she will most likely win all of those battles, but not without taking some significant losses. And there is a very good chance she may lose a dragon. Now, I know that might be hard for some of you to believe, but dragons can die, and most likely will die. There are going to be so many battles during Season 7, it's going to be insane. So there may come a time that Daenerys will need to make some kind of marriage alliance. And this wouldn't be the first time that Daenerys had to do this. But who will she marry when she gets to Westeros? If she marries anyone. If she's going to marry anyone, it will have to be someone else in a position of power that may have an army or some influence over a region of Westeros. Because I don't think she would even consider someone from a smaller house. But if you disagree, then let me know down below. But from what we've seen in the television show, I don't think we're going to be seeing any more Martell heirs that she could possibly even marry. I don't think we're going to be seeing any more Tyrell heirs she can marry either. And I don't think she will be marrying any Tarleys in the near future, and I'm not even sure if she would ever marry a Lannister either. She did make Tyrion her hand of the queen. Tyrion may even be attracted to her, but I don't know if Daenerys would make that move. And as of right now, Jaime Lannister is her enemy. From what we've seen in the most recent trailer, it looks like Jaime will be going head to head with Daenerys, her dragon, and the crazy-ass Dothraki army. So I doubt she would marry Jaime either, even if he wanted to. There is one person that did talk about marrying Daenerys though, and that was Euron Greyjoy. During the King's Moot, he had this master plan of marrying Daenerys, and with her and her dragons they would conquer Westeros. But that plan was spoiled rather quickly when Yara and Theon took off with his ships and sailed to Meereen to forge an alliance of their own with Daenerys Targaryen. And as we've seen in the Season 7 trailers, it appears that Euron is going to strike some of Dany's fleet because of this, and take out a few of her new alliances. So Euron and Daenerys getting married is completely out of the question. I don't think Daenerys will ever marry Theon either. And I'm sorry, Britt, I know you want to see Theon shine, but marrying Theon wouldn't be the right move. I don't think marrying Theon would strengthen her position in Westeros at all. And it's not like the Greyjoys are this beloved house throughout Westeros anyway. Plus the Greyjoys' fleet is about to get destroyed out at sea, so they won't even be able to provide any more men or ships right now either. Unless they can call Euron's shipmaker, who seems to know how to build 1,000 ships in one off-season. But other than that, I don't think so. But what about good old Sweet Robin? He is Lord of the Vale, and he has his own castle and army. He has an army that can also fight in the snow, which is a good thing considering winter is here, and the Night King is coming. Now we all know Littlefinger more or less controls the army, but Robin is the Lord of the Vale. Does anyone think Daenerys would ever consider marrying Robin? I don't think so. I mean, not only is he a little boy still, but he's a sickly little boy who most likely won't survive much longer. I don't see Robin making it until the end, but I could be wrong about that. And if Robin did die and Littlefinger had complete control over the Vale, I wouldn't put it past Littlefinger to try and weasel his way onto Daenerys' side. But even if that were possible, I'm not so sure Daenerys would even consider marrying Littlefinger either. Although he is a very powerful man, he doesn't have the best reputation. I think Tyrion would highly suggest her not to do that, but who knows, crazier shit has happened. There is someone else that we may see again who is also an eligible bachelor. What about Gendry? Obviously, we haven't seen Gendry in a very long time, but if he comes back into play, does anyone think he could potentially be legitimized? As of right now, the Baratheon house is damn near extinct. Now that Robert, Stannis, and Renly are dead, we haven't seen anyone else in this show, at least, who can carry on the Baratheon name. Even all of Cersei's kids are dead. Even though they weren't real Baratheons, they did have the Baratheon name. If Gendry comes back, he could be legitimized by Daenerys, and he could even be given the Stormlands. Now, most of you should know what I would like. If Gendry comes back and marries anyone, I would want it to be Arya. I think that would be a perfect match, but that might be too happy of an ending for Game of Thrones standards. And we still don't know if Arya will even change her mind about settling down with anyone. As of right now, it doesn't look like it, but what do you all think? Could you see Daenerys and Gendry being a couple if he came back and was legitimized? I don't think that would be too bad of a match, but the Baratheons have lost all of their power, so I can't say if that would be the best move or not either. And Jon Snow also knows how close Ned and Robert were, so he did have some respect for the Baratheons. Not to mention Jon and Stannis did have a respectable relationship as well. So if Gendry came back into the plot, I could see Jon wanting to legitimize him as well, so that the house doesn't die off, plus Jon knows what it's like to be a bastard. But these are just my opinions. But I have always felt that if Gendry came back, he would be made a Baratheon in the end. But let's move on. Let's get to the big one. Since we're speaking about Jon Snow, what do you all think about him and Daenerys getting married? I know this can be a touchy subject for some people because of many different factors, but let's discuss it a little bit. I know there are people who really want to see this happen. Jon and Daenerys are arguably the two most popular characters in the show. Some people even say that if Jon and Daenerys had a child together, that it would be the prince or princess that was promised. But on the other hand, there are people that do not want to see this happen. We found out last season that Jon has Targaryen blood, which makes him and Daenerys related. Daenerys is actually Jon Snow's aunt, since Daenerys and Rhaegar were brother and sister, and Rhaegar was Jon's father. Now, I know some of you don't agree with that, but in the television show, Rhaegar is Jon's father. HBO confirmed that Jon's father was a Targaryen, but if you believe his father is someone else in the books, that's completely fine, but save that argument for another video. But when it comes to incest and Targaryens, this is something that they have practiced to keep the bloodlines pure. So if Jon and Daenerys did get together, it wouldn't be completely out of the ordinary for something like that to happen. This story also exposed us to incest at the very beginning with Jaime and Cersei, so I won't be surprised if it continued. But you have to wonder how Jon and Daenerys would feel about this as individuals. If Jon and Daenerys did become attracted to each other, which they most likely will, would they be comfortable going forward with a physical relationship if they knew they were related? Daenerys might not mind as much since she is a Targaryen and she is familiar with her family's history, but I don't know if Jon would be able to accept that. We know the rumor about Jaime and Cersei is well known throughout the Seven Kingdoms, and damn near everyone looks down upon that, or makes fun of the fact that they had an incestuous relationship. So with Jon Snow being a man of the North, and living by the Northern values, I can't say he would be up for something like that. But Jon may start a relationship with her before he ever finds out they are related. What if Jon Snow never finds out who his father is? That is a possibility. Rumors have also been going around that Jon and Dany will have sex next season, so if that's true and they start a physical relationship with each other, then it may not matter to them that they are related if they found out afterwards. But who knows what they would think. But let's forget about all that and just think about this marriage from a political standpoint. Do you think it makes sense for them to get married? If Daenerys does lose the majority of her army during these battles, and potentially lose a dragon, she will need to strengthen her position in Westeros. And marrying the king in the north would certainly do that. As of right now, Jon Snow is king in the north, and he has the full support of all the northern houses on his side. Well, except for Littlefucker. But Daenerys coming to Westeros and marrying the king would be a powerful move. The north is larger than all the other kingdoms combined, and if she plans on defending herself against the Night King and his army, she's gonna need a man with experience on her side. But one thing that will be interesting to see this season will be Jon's position in the north. Will Jon be able to keep a firm grasp on all the northern houses? When Jon leaves to meet Daenerys, this could end up being a turning point with his title. Sansa and Littlefinger will be left at Winterfell, and I know some people think Sansa already has an issue with Jon being named the king. And we all know Littlefinger doesn't want Jon to be king. But there is also another big factor about to show up, which is Bran Stark. Bran Stark is about to make it back to Winterfell, and he is the last living male Stark. Could Bran play a role in Jon losing his title as king? Personally, I don't think so. In my opinion, Bran has more important things to focus on, but I know some people disagree with that. But either way, it will be interesting to see how things play out. There will be some incredible battles taking place next season, not to mention the impending doom from north of the Wall. But the politics of Westeros aren't quite done yet, which will definitely affect Daenerys and Jon. But what does everyone else think? Do you think Daenerys Targaryen will get married again? And if you do, who do you think she will marry, or who do you want her to marry? Is there anyone I left out that you think is a possible candidate for that role? Let me know down below. And before I go, I have to give a huge shout out. Something amazing happened once again, and a new record has been set for the channel. Today I got an incredible amount of money donated to the channel from PJ, also known as Pamela. I hope I didn't butcher that, but she donated $100. And I have to thank you so much. I never expected anyone to ever donate to the channel. So when someone pledges a big amount like that, I am always so surprised and so grateful and thankful for that. This is why I love all of you. The feedback I receive in the comment section, the subs, the views, the likes, and everything else. I really, really appreciate it. And I am really looking forward to experiencing this entire season with you all. So thanks for coming along for the ride. And I'll see you all down below. Bye.